All right, so still going into infotech issues, so we will be delving into so many issues. This time we'll be talking about how to prevent data breaches, how to identify theft and misuse of personal information. I'm sure this bothers you a lot. Sometimes you hear about privacy policy and all of that, but how well are your data protected? These are some of the issues we will be looking at, and we do have our guest joining us right now. Daniel Uba is our guest. He is the head of innovation, Floliz Nigeria Limited. Thank you so much and welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good morning, Daniel. Good to have you here. So, looking at all of these issues that Nkoli raised, data breaches, identity theft, misuse of personal information, we all know what some of the tech companies are going through in the US and in other parts of the world now. Why is the protection of data and privacy, why is it such a big deal right now, especially here in Nigeria?
Thank you. You agree with me that data is the DNA of the digital economy. So take, for example, you download a mobile app. You will provide your personal information on that app. Your name, your email, your phone number, and if possible, your name. Have you ever thought or imagined what these organizations do with this data? How do they keep it? Do they have controls? Some of these organizations don't know how to handle this data. And as such, they lack confidentiality, integrity, and availability of those records. So as a Nigerian, you should be concerned about the organizations you share your data with. Because if they don't have the necessary technical and organizational measures, that could hand into a fraudster, and that leads you to data breaches. That is why we get unsolicited phone calls, emails. How do those people operate? Because of the negligence of some of these organizations.
This happens quite a lot, and it's really a bother for many Nigerians. Sometimes you wonder, people call you, you don't know how to get your contact. People send you mails, like you said, you don't know how that happens. But each time you go on the net, you see privacy policy. Isn't that supposed to check all of that?
Now, people really think that privacy policy protects data. No, it only talks about your digital rights. It's like having a house and you don't have keys to it. So you need to go beyond privacy policy. Privacy policy is just a statement. When you talk about protection, you're looking at multi-factor authentication. You're looking at ensuring that the users don't use passwords that are weak. If you ask the average Nigerian what is their PIN, they will tell you it's the year of birth or the last 4 digits of their phone number. So privacy and protection are two different things, though they have similar goal, but they have different ways of applying it.
So your company is hosting a conference on data protection. How is it different from other tech events or legal events?
Now, this event is not your regular event. This is an event where every speaker is a practitioner in this field of data protection and data privacy. It will also interest you that the National Commissioner of the Nigeria Data Protection Commission, the supervisory authority for data protection in Nigeria, is a keynote speaker. The head of legal, enforcement and regulation, Babatunde Bamigboye, is also going to be on the panel list. And businesses that are already in the IT and legal profession can use this as an opportunity to scale up and diversify into data protection. In the next 10 years, data protection will create more jobs than any other sector. So this should be a conference you want to learn, attend, and learn practical skills so you can be part of the new economy.
So it's not just going to be a talk shop. It's where you come, you learn, and you can even find job in there. Is that what you're saying? It
will be more than talk shop because you have your tea break, you have your lunch, you have materials. You will meet the right people in the ecosystem. Data protection is a new emerging force, and you don't want to be left out of it.
So let's look at these jobs you said, that is going to, create in the next few years. What kind of job, what category of job is this?
Now, Section 32 of the Nigeria Data Protection Act makes it mandatory for every organization that handles personal data to have a data protection officer. So by default, we are going to be creating multiple jobs. But aside a data protection officer job, you have litigation officers. Take, for example, your rights are abused by an organization. Your ordinary lawyer may not have the skill set to handle that in the court because that was not part of their curriculum. They may have graduated 10 years ago.
And it's like a new area
exactly.
entirely.
So you need lawyers that are tech savvy and understand data protection. That is just one. You also need to look at people that will serve as education experts, creating curriculum, not just for the advanced, but for even people at that teen age. So there will be multiple jobs from education to law to technology relating to this subject matter.
So are these all going to be learned from this one conference, or is it something you intend to do, you know, annually or something exactly?
Now, this event is an annual event. We did the last edition in Abuja. We're taking it now to Lagos. Who knows where it will be next? It could be in Dubai. It could be in somewhere else. Now, it's not a one-day event. It's a two-day event, packed. And after the event, all the training slides, all the materials will be sent to people who attend. Aside that, we also have mentorship period, whereby if they have questions, things that maybe were not clearly explained at the venue, they will have someone dedicated to assist them to go through that.
Okay. So where is this conference holding? When is it holding?
Now, the conference will be held in Lagos at the Landmark Event Center, August 27th to 28th. It's a two-day event. Now, we also have option for virtual participation.
So it's a hybrid event?
A hybrid, yes.
Okay, so let's talk about the registration, really. Is it something free that everybody can just walk into, or you have to register first, and how do you go about that?
Yeah, it's not a free event. It's a paid event. For people who want to attend the event, the registration fee is 200,000 naira, but we're going to give a discount. For 7 days, you have 10% discount, so you pay 180,000 as against the 200,000. It also interests you to know that the early bird tickets are already sold out.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How many people are you expecting at the event?
We're expecting 250 people minimum for this event. The early bird tickets sold out July 31st, so you have to cash it.
So that means many people didn't get to know about it early enough, or there was a rush?
Not really. People have been aware. We've been on air, we've been on radio, we've been online. So we're taking the message now to AIT, which is one of the leading broadcasting stations in Africa.
So for those who want to participate, how do you register, whether you want to be a part of the online or on-site participant?
Okay, I think the first thing is to go to our website, www.floliz.com/conference. Floliz is F-L-O-L-I-Z.
Okay.
From there, every information you need to be part of the program is there.
All right. That website is displayed on the screen right now. Well, I can see that there are some numbers too, just in case you are not opportune to go on the website. You can call any of the numbers that are on the screen right now. I can see 0909 942 5904, 0707 574 4444. 0818-064-0370 or 0704-515-0430. Those are the lines, right?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. So sometimes I'll be wondering really how people who are interested and want to be early birds, they have missed that opportunity as well. Is there any other incentive for anyone who wants to join after listening to you here?
Yes, we're giving 10% discount. So rather than pay 200,000, you pay 180,000. And this fee includes your certificate of participation, access to all the training slides, and also the data breach documentation register, which is a unique way for organizations to capture data breaches and manage it effectively.
All right, data protection. It's something that, like you said earlier, is worrisome when it is not put into effect. I got a call from a gentleman persistently over the course of a weekend asking me to go and buy land for him somewhere in Lagos and tempting me to provide an account number. And I'm wondering, how did this person get my phone number? So am I likely to, if I were to attend that conference, what am I likely to learn that will help me prevent that? Or is it about the companies that own the apps that I use, or the banks that I use, or things like that?
So there are different ways this data breach occur. Take, for example, the mobile app you download. They have permission to your location, permission to your contact, permission to your gallery. So they can misuse that data. And if you fill a form physically, how sure are you that the person handling that form will not sell it out? Take, for example, a visitor register. people fill their name, their phone number, visitor register. After that book is filled up, have they ever imagined what the security personnel will do with that document? They may sell it to a marketing company, and that is where the data breach starts from.
That's sort of scary, really. But I hope with this conference, all this will be sorted and people will, will learn how to protect, their data is handled. But there's an information here that I want you to clarify because you talked about earlier about emerging job opportunities, from this conference as well. And you've mentioned a bit of them. But I'm seeing a figure that Nigeria needs over 500,000 professionals in this space, but we only have about 12,000 certified so far. How authentic is this information? And how does this conference help to beef this up?
Now, out of those 12,000, the information is partly correct because out of those 12,000, some of them have left Nigeria for better job opportunities.
Oh, that's why you said it's partly correct.
It's partly correct because out of that 12,000 you have, some are already far away from us, practicing and earning good money. Now, 500,000 may not even be enough, looking at the number of businesses that operate in Nigeria. So when you see a gap, of course, the income for people who are certified and professional in that field will go up. So this is something that every youth and everyone who thinks like a youth, because you mustn't be a youth to be a youth, you have to have that brain of a youth. So everyone who is passionate about innovation should take up a data protection officer training course and kickstart a career. It's lucrative.
Especially in this tech world that we are in today. All right, are you reaching out to corporate organizations, for instance, because in Nigeria today, because of the high cost of living and all of that, affording 200,000 for a training may not just be easy for certain individuals who would ordinarily want to participate, but for organizations who've got their staff and all of that, so probably send in 1, 2, 3 to join at this conference. Are you doing that as well?
It will interest you to know that many corporate bodies have already enrolled their staff, from the telcos to the insurance to the microfinance, even ministries, departments, and agencies. The first edition was held in Abuja. We had over 500 participants. Now we're having it in Lagos, so we're expecting more turnout.
So, okay, organizations are keen into this as well.
Yes.
Okay, let's get your final thoughts on this as we, progress. What you advise those who are watching you on this program now, who are probably hearing about this for the first time, how to go about it and what they stand to benefit participating.
Now, one of the things we should take out from this is we should be careful how we share our data. And one thing you should take out of this also is data protection is something you want to know about and learn. Because you may be the next target. A lot of people have lost funds due to the fact that they downloaded an app or they saved their password on their browsers. So conferences like this help you to be more enlightened, to know the do's and don'ts when you navigate the digital ecosystem.
So it's like a jungle out there.
Very, very.
My worry really, being careful about your data protection. Sometimes this information, even when you want to browse or surf the net, they make it compulsory that you have to either answer or agree to whatever, policy they've got out there and submit some of those information and allow them to use that before they even allow you to do what you want to do. And if you don't do that, or if you do that, how do you go about checking whether, they are protecting your data or not? Sometimes you don't even have access to some of those, people who you try to get into their information from their sites or something.
Now, before you go to any site, there are certain things you should look out for. Is the site secured? When you visit a secured site, it should be running on HTTPS. So if you go to a site that doesn't have HTTPS, that should be a warning sign. If you go to a site where there's no privacy policy, that should be a warning sign. If you go to a site whereby you are browsing and there are forced pop-up asking you to click, that should be a warning sign.
Okay.
So we have to be careful as individuals when we have access to some of these digital platforms. Because if they don't have staffs that are knowledgeable on how to handle this data, they could sell it, they could misuse it, and that put people at risk.
So looking at all of these issues now, data protection and personal protection of our own information, what advice would you give Nigerians who on a daily basis go online to do stuff, use their banking apps and all of that, how do they protect themselves and their information from hackers and other people who will use this information for whatever things they desire?
Okay. Now, never you use a free Wi-Fi. Never. Especially when you want to access your mobile banking app. 2, always ensure you change your password every 3 months. And finally, try as much as possible to have a backup of your data, because something could go wrong. So you have to have a backup of your data.
So these are the basic things.
Some of the basic things. Yes.
All right.
If you want to learn more, you can come for the conference.
I like that.
All right, so you may just have the privilege of stating the time of the conference again, where and when, who are expected at the conference.
So the conference will be in Lagos,
Okay.
the Landmark Event Center.
Where is that located?
Victoria Island, Lagos. Landmark Event Center is a well-known place. August 27th to August 28th, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily.
42 days.
Yes.
Okay, and registration is still on?
Yes.
Up until when? Is there a deadline for registration?
Registration will end on the 25th of August.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you want to be part of it, you just have to do that before that time?
Yes.
For that time.
All right.
That leaves like 2 weeks
Yes.
for anyone who is interested.
Yes.
Okay, Daniel, thank you very much for talking to us. We hope that Nigerians and Nigeria will be safer after this conference. Thank you so much. Daniel Uba, the head of innovation, Floliz Nigeria Limited, talking to us about how to prevent data breaches, identity theft, and misuse of personal information on Kakaki, the African Voice, this morning.
Yes, indeed. We thank you very much. Do have a great day and a great outing at the event. All right.